Okay, welcome back. All I did was change it up a little bit, and I said optimize. Tell me about the optimization and organization of a small open-air parking lot with moving cars. And immediately I made 20 basic game designs that dealt with basic parking lot layout, simple car objects, basic car movements, blah, 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 blah. Did 20 of them. What's it still doing? Camera fly through. They're not all correct, but it's like, these are great ways to get code snippets generated for you, and once you get enough of them done, I think it did 20, the basic render set up for the demo, I just said, put it all together. And so it gave some suggestions. I said, this is great. Now compile several of the scripts after clearing the geometry into a single amazing script, and there it is. It's 188 lines long. It clears my scripts to start, which I like. It did the camera fly through, and it made this little kind of game simulation of cars optimizing in a parking lot. Maybe not exactly what you want to do, but what a way to get access to a couple hundred lines of code that you can reconsider what's happening. So now, the biggest thing I did was I went into using advanced reasoning with O1. And what made the world a difference. If you do pay for that extra on top of 4.0, basically, yeah, you want to use advanced reasoning. So this is great. This is great. It is great. Implement more complexity and functions in the script for a more realistic, detailed simulation of cars maneuvering in a parking lot with curved paths. Yeah, let's see what that does. Spelled parking wrong, but it'll fix. Let's write that one out, and let's just see where this one goes. So we'll take this one, we'll save it, and we will go to Save As, and we'll continue with the parking lot on part C. And I think I left out a video when I was first playing because I wasn't happy with it. So this one I was waiting for the advanced reasoning to take over. It's going to write that script pretty awesomely. Here it's going to do painted lines, curves paths, follow paths, collision avoidance check, camera fly through, and sun lamp. So that's pretty nice. And here it goes generating it. Sorry for all the coughing. But I didn't get any bugs in the last one, which was nice. I think I did get a bug earlier on, but and that's why I kind of gave up on that model. But this is a nice little model. You got your camera working, you got your light changing, and all of these things are being automated for you. So really automate the boring stuff as you are creative, and you're thinking computationally, and you're thinking, I like to think parameters through and physics simulations away from Grasshopper and Rhino, sometimes in Blender, through the form of using animations and keyframes. That's totally what I like. So if I grab a car, yeah, I can take a look at my different vehicles. I can take a look at my main camera. I can take a look at my sunlight. Whatever. There it is. It wrote itself. It's telling me. Let's go in here. Let's see if we get a bug. Hit it, and I should go back to the start. And I did get a bug, so I'm going to right-click on it, hit copy, and see what that bug said. That bug said remove was not found, so it had something about the dot. Remove was an attribute it didn't understand. So I probably should have stopped it and restarted. No, same bug. So we got to give it a chance to fix that, and it will probably do it. So spline, Bezier points, remove, dot, dot, dot. We'll have to see what's going on with the curves, Bezier curves. And it fixed the definition of the curved paths, but instead of me finding it and trying to cram it down into this little area, I'm going to say, please write the script out in full. And that saves a lot of time of me trying to put it in and have the right spacing and have it go in, because Python's very indentation sensitive. And so we'll write it in there and see how many lines of the code it adds to it. So I usually go to the end of the code lines over here, and already we're working at, wow, it's already generated 340 lines of working script. We'll see if this one comes out a little bit longer. I think it just adjusted it, so it may bounce a little bit away, 5 or 10 lines. And we'll see if we get another bug right here in the info line. And we're getting a trace back. And it's telling us what's the problem, but it's really good at understanding its problems. Lots of functions that you can break down and do individually, and you can cut and paste and use them in other scripts. But if you are at the beginning of coding and in Python, you may want to try this system. I call it the Wickerson way, but it's just using OpenAI to generate Python for whatever you want in whatever node editor you have access to that receives Python. You can go into more advanced libraries. You can go into all the wonderful machine learning libraries, which are fun. You'll find it using NumPy and Matplotlib periodically. It's trying to sneak that in for you. But those are for people that are more advanced. So 341, we're going to copy and paste. And I think we lost a line of code, so let's run it. And it changed a little bit, and we still have a bug. So we'll just run it and see if it does anything. It does not. So we're going to go here and we're going to grab our trace back. And I think those curves are really trying to cause some trouble. And this is a Blender Python prop collection attribute clear is not found. So it's going to have to navigate, look back at the API, find out why that's not working. It will decipher it for us. And keep in mind that I am using up my prompts on my advanced reasoning. So if you're going to bounce back to 4.0, you're going to lose a little bit of this high finesse. But once a day I get, I don't know, once every couple of days I get about 25 prompts, and I like to play with it. So yeah, you're going to learn a lot just by reading this. It's going to teach you, and it's not going to say it to you. It's going to read it to you, write it to you, so you can have it. And you have these transcripts forever. And I think the only thing of value when I'm actually teaching this is going to be issue the transcripts. Just issue the link to the transcripts. You can't do that when there's images. You can't share that, so you have to be careful when you're working in 4.0 and you've used an image prompt. You won't be able to share that. So that kind of sucks. But who knows? That's just about saving data, or I don't know. It's about somebody else's policies, not mine. So what a way to write script and code and not have to sit in here and worry about every comma and every parentheses and all the things that make you feel really awesome when you learn how to code one line of code every minute and you're a total expert. Well, think about 300, 400 lines of code in the span of a minute. Let's see if we get lucky. And sometimes things fail terribly, but you just play with it. So this one's running. So let's see what our animation does. Ugh, what is going on? My cars, it probably has to run through once. I've got my little parking spaces. I've got my strange curves they're supposed to be moving in. Good, but the cars are not moving in the animation. And that's where you can kind of have this kind of mid-level career engineer coder for you that's doing what you want. And so you tell it that in English, good, but the cars are not moving in animation. It's thinking, and it'll tell you how long it thought maybe. Configure animation settings. I'm going to take this one back. Our code is actually writing without bugs, but we're not getting that movement. We are getting a pretty cool script. We got a camera that's focused on it better, so that's nice. We've got some dynamic lighting that's moving around, like sun is rotating, which is kind of fun. So there's the Bezier curve still causing problems. Blah, blah, blah. Example of minimal working snippet. I don't know if I want a minimal working snippet. Create test curves. Okay, I don't want to do that. Conclusion, blah, blah, blah. Why aren't they moving along the curves? Please write the full and finished script out in full with the bug fixes. All right, let's see if it does that or if it leaves me with this little snippet, because it tried to sneak away from what I was doing. This is the one I want. I might have to copy that. Let's see if it generates a nice big code. Of course, hitting enter is also it. So this is what you end up doing. You end up debugging by talking to ChatGPT. I'm not sure if a lot of people use this method. I'm trying to encourage it more and more because I want to get past all of the automated basic learning. Once you get a vocabulary of what you want to do, it should be able to do it for you. So this is blah, 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 making the path, setting the blah, 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 blah. This below is full bug fixes. The cars actually move along the paths. Let's see if they do, and let's see if this still ends up being like a 400 line of script. If it isn't, we'll just use a smaller one. Change frames of the handler. No, it's a smaller script. Well, I thought it was going to be smaller. Frame change handler. Still writing. Another path for car. Yeah, it might be a smaller script, but we can deal with smaller. Always cut your problems in half. No, it's 352. Let's run it. And no bugs. Let's run it. There we go. Oh, look at that little car game. Cars behaving in a parking lot simulated. And let's take a look, except my camera angle sucks. Even though it does a loop and comes all the way around, it kind of misses the action. So, not bad. As long as we get control of the camera, we've made kind of Bezier curve paths for a car. They're not colliding. I think it's a pretty good simulation. You've written 350 lines of your own code, and this is the way the Wickerson way goes, and you can start doing amazing things with this. Thanks for watching.